Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for the Championship preview and prediction show for round 3. This is the show where we all get to have our say and make our predictions as to how we see the next round of Championship football going. We are in the fabled, we love it, the 3-game week in the Championship, as in previous games all played this past Saturday. And we have games tonight, Tuesday, and tomorrow, Wednesday. Nice split, I think 7 and 5, and a couple of TV games tonight. So what we want to do is get all you guys' predictions for how things are going to go this round. We're going to go through each and every game, and we're going to hear from you guys in the chat. As you can see up there, we are sponsored this season on the preview show by Betfair and Football 365. We're going to show you a few odds from our friends over at Betfair, and Football 365 will be carrying previews just like this one on their wonderful site. So go and check out football365.com to read that. And of course, if you are going to spend some money on Betfair, please gamble responsibly. Be gambleaware.org. Let me know you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly, and we will get into the action. You can see the running order down the bottom. As ever, we will work from top of the table all the way down. So please don't complain if your team's at the end. They need to win some games is the answer. We have a very peculiar quirk at the moment also. 10 Championship teams tied on 4 points. Brilliant stuff. Nobody won their opening 2 games. However, Nottingham Forest and Preston fans look away. They lost their opening 2 games. Right. Let's say some hellos in the comments and then we'll get into it. Irene, Peter, Jake, Carl, James, Alistair, Steve, Mr. Ree, DR, epic intro music. Thank you. We had to change it, so I'm pleased you like it. Lenny, Tony, John, Annie, George, Chris, Donald, Maxi, Leeds 2021, Danny, Nosarge, Juro, Josh, and Matt all in there first. Good. Let's do this now, and let's start off. Top of the running order is Millwall versus Fulham. Get your predictions in the chat. Millwall, draw, or Fulham. That is our opening game, and that is the subject of the preview over on Football 365. So you can see my thoughts on that one. As a TV game tonight, in fact, and you can see our friends over at Betfair have Fulham, who are our league leaders, as the favourites at 6-5. Millwall 11-4 to win a home game, 2-1 the draw. So Fulham kicking off with that draw against Borough, where Borough had 26% possession and then equalised with their first shot of the game. Big win, though, for Fulham up at Huddersfield last time out, 5-1. Harry Wilson was red carded in that game. He will not feature in this one. Scott Malone will be pleased to hear that down that left-hand side, but Fulham have got plenty of strength in that squad. Nonetheless, Millwall, Gary Rowett loves a draw, and they've already got 2 draws so far. Looks like things have settled, still relying on Jed Wallace getting goals. He scored 100% of Millwall's goals this season. Let's have a look and see what you guys are saying in the chat. Right, I think we got there. Draw, Fulham, draw, Fulham. Leave some time for the Q&A. We will try. I'll try and move faster than yesterday, Annie. Fulham, draw. Fulham, draw. Fulham. Not a lot of love for Millwall in this one. Draw. Fulham. For goodness me, do I need to stop there? I'll click all of the... There we go. Someone, Chris thinks Millwall is going to get something. But yes, a lot of you are behind Fulham in this one. Look, Millwall is a hard place to go. Millwall are a hard team to beat under Gary Rowett, but I do understand where you lot are going with this one in respects of Fulham just look very, very strong squad-wise. And that's been 9/10 of the battle since COVID, hasn't it? The haves and the have-nots, the haves tend to do it. Let me go with you lot then. You can take the blame if it's all wrong. Away. We will go for an away win. So our first prediction in, we are going for Fulham to move on to 7 points and barring loads of goals by one of the other 4-pointers, will stay up at the top of the table. Right, we are going to the top of England and Middlesbrough versus QPR. Predictions in, please. Middlesbrough, draw, or QPR. Middlesbrough, draw, or QPR. Let me know how you see this one panning out. Good start for both, really. It's a 4-point derby, isn't it? You've got Borough sat in 7th with just their +1 goal difference. QPR obviously racked up a nice +3 goal difference. This game occurs tomorrow night. It'll be on the Sky Sports red button if you do want to check it out. Now, interesting stuff because I think people are going to like that price on QPR. So, Borough favourites in the home game at 7-5. QPR 2-1 to win this one. That looks value to me. I'm not encouraging that, but I'm just giving you my view. BeGambleAware.org, 11-5 for the draw. QPR creditable. A draw in the first game against Millwall without Chair Rob Dickey in fantastic form. Good win at Hull. Mitigating factor, red card. They were already 2-0 up when the red card came out, I believe, weren't they? Middlesbrough look nice and settled. Warnock looks ready to go. Win against Bristol City. Draw away at Fulham. Tricky start for Borough, but they've done well. Isaiah Jones is my player to watch in the Football 365 column. Looks like an exciting left winger. Difficult one to call this, so I'm going to dive in on the chat and see what you guys are saying. I think we'll start with Annie there. Right, draw, Rangers, draw. Rangers, draw. Borough. Rangers, draw. Rangers, draw. There's one, Borough. Rangers, draw. Borough. Rangers, draw. Borough, draw. Let's try and get the rest of these clicked up. You guys seem a bit heavier on QPR than I imagined. Pezu versus Dickey. Ouch, that's a heavyweight battle, isn't it? I think Borough and Warnock will be happy to sit off in this one. I think teams are going to be a little bit afraid of QPR this season, certainly in the opening before things settle down. So I think maybe both teams will score. Sound like Kevin and Perry, don't I? Draw. Let's go for a draw. There was plenty of that in the chat. I think if you gave both sides the draw, I haven't seen their fixtures on Saturday, they would take that, I think, looking at a win on Saturday. Again, I haven't seen the fixtures, but keeping up that 2 points per game is the deal if you want to make a chance, especially early in the season. A lot of people can stay above it for around 8 to 10 games. Only normally 1 or 2 teams stay above it for the remainder of the season. Let's have your thoughts now. Peterborough versus Cardiff. In the chat, please. Peterborough, draw, or Cardiff. Let me know how you see this one going. Peterborough, draw, or Cardiff. Over the weekend, Peterborough got their first win. This one's tonight, by the way. First win of the season with that ludicrous 100th minute goal against Darby in the live lunchtime kickoff. I didn't watch all the game. Apparently they were good value and they sort of went for it at the end. But look, late win is a late win, but well done to Posh for getting off the mark. Cardiff slid in 2-0 clean sheet away at newly promoted Blackpool. So they have form for travelling to a newly promoted side and getting the result. Cardiff are favourites here with our friends at Betfair. They're 6-4. Posh, again, another good price there, 2-1. Anyone fancy the double? QPR and Posh, you get a very, very nice 2-1 stacked up, multiplied together there. Would you bet against McCarthy turning up and grinding out another clean sheet? The goals amused me from Cardiff games. Long throw and Morrison flick on for Bakuna and Kiefer Moore heading in. Perhaps he's ready to start this one. I think James Collins has started the first two games. That to me seems the question. Can Peterborough and Darren Ferguson score against Cardiff and Mick McCarthy? I think if they keep the clean sheet, they go ahead and get the win in this one, Cardiff. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Here we go. Cardiff, Cardiff, draw. Cardiff, 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 Cardiff. Cardiff, Cardiff, draw, Cardiff, draw, Cardiff, 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 Cardiff. Oof. Right, we are seeing where the chat is going. It's heavily on Mick and Cardiff in this one. Let's get those all read out there. Look, I'll go with you lot then. So, you know what McCarthy's like. He will have targeted these games against Blackpool and Peterborough. He will have been okay with drawing at home to Barnsley and assuming that they can keep the shutout, the clean sheet, or at least a one goal. I think I agree with you guys. Let's do it. Away. Go for an away win there. That's 2 in our first 3 away wins. Moving on now to West Bromwich Albion versus Sheffield United. It is 2 Year 1 parachute teams going at each other in round 3. Predictions in, please. West Brom, draw, Blades. West Brom, draw, Sheffield United. How do you see this one going? It's gone a lot better for West Brom than it has for Sheffield United so far. Look, we've heard all the caveats about Jokanovic and time and all of that good stuff. But you know the natives will be restless on the basis. Sheffield United haven't scored a goal yet, have they? Lost 0-1 at home to Birmingham. Drew 0-0 at Swansea. And you do worry if the kind of losing downward trajectory is carried over from the Premier League. That's a concern. And the lack of goals and chance creation really is a concern for Sheffield United. Our friends at Betfair have got West Brom favourites, 21-10, quite hefty favourites in the end, 27-10 there. Sorry, 21-20, West Brom, 27-10 are Sheffield United. It's been a decent enough start for, actually, let's be quite frank, it's been a good start for West Brom. 2-2 draw away at Bournemouth in another parachute derby. 3-2 win against Luton. Like the front three, Dean Garner. I was going to say Pereira then. He's gone. Dean Garner, Grant and Robinson. Robinson's already grabbed 2 goals. And West Brom have already scored, I think, 3 set play goals already in the first 2 games. With that being said, and I know we've got a lot of Blades friends here. They're not going to like this. I'm going to go ahead of the chat. I haven't looked at it. Got the other screen open. Home I'm going for West Brom in this one to move on to 7 points. Let's see what the feeling is in the chat. Here we go. Right. Baggies, draw. Baggies, baggies, draw. Blades. Baggies, 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 draw. Baggies, 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 baggies. Blades, go first. Baggies, baggies, draw. Blades, baggies, baggies. Draw, blades. I think you guys are with me. Let's have a look, see if we can get all of these up on the screen. Your projections there. We go. We've nearly got them all up. There we go. Right. That is our first 4 games. 2 aways, a draw, and 1 home so far. We will be right back after this. There you go. Press the wrong button. Joy, it's supposed to be the bumper. Couple of quick little plugs. We recorded episode 2 of Championship 365, our collaboration with Ben HD, as I throw my pen on the floor, and the Second Tier Pod. That's going down Ben HD's channel later on. I'm sure you're familiar with Ben HD, great Championship YouTuber. So we recorded that this morning. That show's coming out, I think, about 5 o'clock, 4:45, whenever Ben does his uploads. That will be out later. And as ever, keep those comments coming. Please hit like if you're in the stream, wherever you're watching. Hit subscribe. I think we're over 18,900 subscribers now, so we're trying to get to 19,000. You can support via Super Chat and Super Stickers financially. Right, let's move on. And it is Birmingham versus Bournemouth. Get your predictions in, please. Birmingham, draw, or Bournemouth? Birmingham, draw, or Bournemouth? Decent start for both. It's another 4 points versus 4 points. Look, we were going to get a few with nearly half the league on 4 points, weren't we? Birmingham, excellent win opening day at the team we just mentioned, Sheffield United. A bit of a, from what we hear, a bit of a stinker of a 0-0 draw that everybody kind of saw coming, didn't they, against Stoke? But they sit in there on 4 points. And of course, Birmingham have not conceded a goal yet. So if they're set up to be tricky to play against and solid, then they're doing their job very, very well. Bournemouth started well as well under Scott Parker, drawing with West Brom, winning at Forest. Bad news, David Brooks was red carded. Silly red card, wasn't it? 2 yellows. I assume he gets a 1-match ban for the double yellow. So no David Brooks in this one. Look out for Jaden Anthony down the left wing. Gavin Kilkenny, Zamira. Some good youngsters as those Bournemouth players come back. Maybe a bit of a reliance on Phil Billing to do the business in this one in David Brooks' absence. Going to be a clash of styles. Can Bournemouth keep out Birmingham and Jukiewicz? I can see them causing trouble, but a few suspicious comments about Scott Hogan from our Birmingham friends not finishing chances. So interesting one, this. It could be a low scorer, couldn't it? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see what you guys... There we go. We'll start here. 1-0 Bournemouth, Birmingham, draw. Bournemouth, draw. Bournemouth, draw. Bournemouth, Birmingham, Bournemouth, draw. Bournemouth, draw. Bournemouth, Birmingham, Bournemouth, draw. We are mixed, but a lot on the draw. And a few Bournemouths there in a row. Good clash of styles, isn't it? Let's make sure you get all your predictions read up. Please just put your predictions once, because it really, really clogs up the chat if you repeatedly put your predictions in. We love your contributions, but try and keep some etiquette so we can keep the chat fairly clean. I think I'm going to land with the draw, guys, here. I think John mentioned Chong likely to not be back. Birmingham not quite firing up front. Bournemouth without Brooks. Maybe a low-scoring draw. Let's go for a draw again. My second this time. And let's move on. Forest versus Blackburn in the Lars Bohinen derby. Forest, one of only 2 teams with 0 points. Forest have lost both of their opening 2 games. Get your predictions in, please. Forest, draw, or Blackburn. Forest, draw, or Blackburn. Let us know how you see this one go. And it's been a bad start for Forest. Go figure. They're second bottom of the league with 0 points. If I want to be a Forest apologist, you can kind of say that, doing all right in the Coventry game, sort of threw it away. Bit too pragmatic against Bournemouth after the red card. Could have gone for it a little bit more. Are they that far off? Did they get hammered in both of their games? No, not really. Do enough to get anything out of them? Obviously not. I think there's quality there at Forest. I like Zinkernagel. I think Brendan Johnson's going to have a good season. Joe Lolly looks to be back into it. Probably missing Joe Worrell a little bit at the back. Forest, 7-5 favourites in this one. Blackburn are 2-1 outsiders. Nice price on Blackburn if they can go away to Forest and get the win. Adam Armstrong is gone, but nobody seems to care really because Ben Brereton has scored in both games so far. Brereton, Dolan, Gallagher. I maintain that the money in for Armstrong may not be spent on a forward. It might go in other positions. What I will say is against another pragmatic opponent, Millwall, Blackburn probably could well have lost and only recorded 1 shot on target, and they scored from it. So I'm going to go ahead of the chat, and I'm going to go for home. I'm going to go for Forest to get their first win of the season. I think this is an okay matchup, and I don't think Forest are a bottom 2 team. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's start here. Okay, Rovers, draw. Rovers, draw. Rovers, draw. Rovers. Oh, God, no Forest bets here. It's only me here. Rovers, draw. Rovers. Wow. Okay, I am totally up against it. Sean's with me on a Forest win. Yeah, the Brereton derby for sure. But yeah, most of you have gone on Blackburn in this one. 40-1 as top scorer. It's not the worst bet in the world, that actually, Brian. Did you go each way? Very good bet if you've gone each way. There we go. Lots of draws at the end there. Okay, so it looks like I'm in the minority here. But that's the fun thing about doing this, hey? Everyone has their opinion. And it's okay if it's different to yours, hey? A concept that is a struggle for some people in our lovely football sort of sphere here. Right, let's move on. Swansea versus Stoke. Predictions in for this one. It's another nice matchup, nice clash of styles. Get your predictions in, please. Swansea, draw, or Stoke? Swansea, draw, or Stoke in this one? Swansea, another home game. I didn't hear good things, or well, I heard very bad things about the game between Swansea and Sheffield United not being very interesting and not a lot happening. But I'm kind of interested to see how this goes with Russ Martin now. Let's have a look and see what our friends at Betfair are saying. They have got Stoke as the favourites. Stoke 7-5, Swansea 11-5. Interesting. Now, I can see some nil-nils coming in there. There is an argument that this is a low score, isn't it? We know Michael O'Neill and Stoke are good defensively. By the way, Wilmot Ostigard, Suter. That's a good back three, isn't it? And we know that Swansea have kind of got the passing bit off and running, but they're keeping the ball and not creating many chances. So you wouldn't be massively surprised to see another kind of 0-0 or 1-0 either way in this one. You can imagine Stoke pinching the ball from or pinching a goal from a set play, or pinching the ball when Swansea are trying to play out from the back and punishing Swansea. Just depends really what you guys think, how long it's going to take Swansea to get up to speed. It's probably a good time to play them in the early going. Remember, Swansea lost to Blackburn, drew to Sheffield United, who are in a similar position. So, yeah, let's have a look. I won't go ahead of the chat this time. We'll see what you guys are saying. We'll start there at Annie's one. So draw, Stoke 1-0, draw, Stoke, draw. Swans, there's one. Draw, Stoke, draw. Swans, Stoke, draw, Stoke, Swans, draw. So not much on the Swans here, really. Okay. Interesting. Sorry, let me just get these so we get them all up on the screen so you get to see your predictions. There we go. Do you know, I might go for Stoke in this one. Maybe in a couple of months' time when Swans are up and running. You can just see this is the type of team that would be set to punish a passing team that hasn't quite got the pattern of play fixed up yet. So I can't believe it because it's my third one already. Away! Let's go for Stoke. Stoke to win at Swansea. Apologies, Swans fans. And good luck, Flynn Downs, of course, for Swans. But hey-ho, what are you going to do? Right, let's move on. Game number 8 is Barnsley versus Luton. Get your predictions in, please. Barnsley, draw, Luton. Barnsley, draw, or Luton. I wrote about this for Football 365. These two clubs are kind of linked together the past few seasons. First and second in League One, both performing a great escape in the first championship season, and then both performing well above expectations last season to finish in the top half for Luton and in the playoffs for Barnsley. Looks like Luton possibly, given that Marcus Schopp is just a couple of games in, it does look like Luton might be a little bit ahead for the start of the season, but Barnsley have built up a good squad, haven't they? And rave reviews still for Hellick, Styles in central midfield now, Fraser, Woodrow, Morris all starting up front this season. So despite the loss of Ishmael and Moa and DK, they're obviously weakened from last season, Barnsley, but it's not been a bad start. Draw at Cardiff and a weird one against Coventry. Loads of bookings and a late penalty miss, but they did get the win, did Barnsley. Luton started by thrashing Peterborough, and let's be fair, they could not cope with the set plays of West Brom, and they've had trouble at centre half, haven't they? It was Osho and Naismith playing back there for Luton, and the first two goals West Brom scored were a throw-in own goal and a corner going into the back post as well, or a set play from there was a free kick from the right-hand side. Our friends at Betfair have Barnsley as favourites there at 13-10, the home team. Luton, slight outsiders there at 12-5. Probably good value. If you agree with me that right now, given Schopp has just appeared, I might have a little edge on Luton here, I think. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat on this one. Barnsley, draw. Barnsley, draw. Luton, there's one. Barnsley, Luton. That's not a bad shout, Kate. There could be... if you are heading over to Betfair, look at over 2.5 goals in this one as well. I do agree with that. Luton, draw, Barnsley, Luton. Interesting. Draw, Barnsley, draw. Brian's left his bias at the door there. Luton, Barnsley. Oh, you're so mixed on this one, guys. I might play my joker on this one then. There we go. Draw. Crikey. I'm finding this one a hard one to call. But you can't play the joker on this game because there's no upset result, is there? Draw. I can't separate the two of them, to be honest. So I will land on a draw. My apologies. I've had 3 of them as well now. But hey, we had 6 in the first round. Didn't we? Right, 4 to go, guys. Stick with me. Okay, before we do the last 4, can we just do those quick couple of plugs? One more time, please hit like on the stream if you're watching. Hit subscribe, 18,900 now, trying to get to 19,000 subscribers. You can support financially via Super Chat, Super Stickers, Patreon. We'll do a Patreon video this week at some point. Patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Great community there. And you can buy some merch as well. www.benjaminbloommerch.store. Plenty of ways to support the channel. Right, plugging over. And let's talk Hull versus Derby. Predictions in, please. Hull, draw, or Derby. It's a repeat of the 2016 playoff semi-final. The one where Andy Robertson scored that goal for Hull. Hull, draw, or Derby. This is a tricky one to call, actually, I think. Derby, I keep saying it, we expected absolute chaos and the youth team to be played or something. And they put the team out. It's actually not that bad. Okay, there's not a lot of sort of pace at the back between, I don't know, Stearman or there's sounding Jagielka now as well, Curtis Davis. But there's plenty of experience and there's not a lot of depth behind it, I have to say. But Derby have good youngsters, don't they? Stretton's good. Ebaseli made his first start at Posh. What Derby can't afford to be is as flaky as they were at the end of that game. Mistakes from Josh Viak and Nathan Byrne in both of the goals. I know Posh went for it, and congratulations on the win. But yeah, if you're Wayne Rooney, you're kind of like, well, I don't really know what I can do about that. Coach people by the time they're playing at championship level to not let people run past them. In Josviak's case, you know, what are you going to do? Hull, great start, 4-1 at Preston, excuse me. And then they lost 3-0. So they've wiped out their own goal difference. They've got 3 points. Look, they've got quality, haven't they? Keane Lewis Potter. Malik Wilkes missed the last game. I don't know whether he will be back in. I think it might favour Hull being a home game as well. Keep predictions coming in, by the way, guys. Betfair. Oh, look at that. Odds on Hull. That might sway me there, the old bookies. Odds on, 6-5 on there. Derby, 10-3. Again, it's the championship. You will get good prices on this one. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Where are we looking? Okay, let's start here with Mark. Oh, actually, let's start with Lenny there. The re-signing of Tom Huddleston just in time to feature against Derby. Yeah, he's been back a while, hasn't he, Lenny? Or is he just training with him? Pass. Right, here we go. Derby, Hull. Draw, Hull. Thumbs up for the content. Thanks, Ben. Draw, Hull. Derby. Not a lot of love for Derby here. Hull. Hull. Okay, I'm seeing where you lot are going with this one. The Curtis Davis Derby, or indeed the Tom Huddlestone Derby, as was just mentioned. There you go. Someone's like 1 second behind me. Okay. Well, Betfair, tell us, and you lot in the chat tell us that this is going to be a home win. So let's go with you lot. Home. And it's just a matter of Hull trying to get those sort of pacey inside forwards into the gaps against those perhaps slower Derby centre halves. I think Derby might score in this one though, so maybe get on your plus 2.5 goals. Right. It is who's next? Reading versus, I can't read my own writing. Does that say Bristol City? I think it does, doesn't it? Reading versus Bristol City. There you go. It's confirmed down there. Predictions in, please. Reading, draw, or Bristol City? Reading, draw, or Bristol City? Reading beat Preston on Saturday. Preston are bottom. Reading are relying on Swift a little bit now, but that's fine. You're allowed to have a star player who puts up good numbers. They are missing, obviously, the now departed Elise and Richards. The injured Maite. We think Zhao is injured as well. So Reading, again, like last season, are not having a lot of luck getting all of their star players on the pitch at the same time. However, Bristol City are just in this losing rut and have been, well, I did the maths. Bristol City have been in relegation form for 45 games now, for virtually an entire season of Championship football. It was 43 games of last season they were in relegation for, just the first three that essentially kept them up. Some wins early on for Dean Holden. So I think it's just a psychological thing now for Bristol City, isn't it? They just need to get a win from somewhere. Can they get it against Reading? I don't know if they can. Whatever you say about Reading, where, you know, whoever's on the pitch, they're normally fairly solid in their team shape. And if you do have that sort of square of Morrison or Moore, Rinomota and Laurent, defensively, you should be reasonably sturdy at the back. It's just can they keep Swift fit now with everybody else seemingly dropping like flies? Bristol City will either, it's very binary this, they're either going to beat somebody soon and start to work their way out of it, or this run continues and it's going to be trouble for Mr. Nigel Pearson, isn't it? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's start here with Josh, who says Reading, draw, Reading, City, Reading, draw. Zhao is out. Interesting. Not psychological. It's Pearson, a different P word. I think it's time Bristol City get a win. I'm going City, says Blazing Aqua. I'm not, and I'm sorry, but I can see the rut continuing. I don't think Reading are flaky enough for Bristol City to turn up and get the win at. So I am going to go home. Ouch. Sorry, Bristol City fans, because it's been a long, painful run. Let's hope they can get Callas back into that team. Only came on as a sub, didn't he? And again, different level to Derby, but first 11's fine, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Right, 2 to go. Blackpool versus Coventry. Get your predictions in, please. Blackpool, draw, or Coventry. Blackpool, draw, or Coventry. From what I can understand, we had some very self-aware and honest Barnsley fans telling us that they kind of got away with one a little bit against Coventry, and that looked unlikely to be 3 points at various times during that game, but it was. So it sounds like Coventry have had a bit of a weird start, haven't they? Because I heard it was a game of two halves, Coventry Forest, then Coventry came around and won it. So it feels like they've not played well in one game and won it, and played well in another game and lost it. So all a bit upside down at Coventry, who are now sort of going forward without some players from last year, McCallum, Matty James, Leo Ostigard. They're sort of retooling at the back. They've got good attackers now, haven't they? I think Tyler Walker got injured though, didn't he? Walker, Godden, Waghorn now in there. Have we seen Eno Bakari yet? I'm not sure we have we? Blackpool. Well, they got a draw at Bristol City, but Bristol City probably should have won that game, shouldn't they? Looking at the numbers, late equaliser from Shane Lavery. And then along comes Mick McCarthy, and some of those ex-Premier League players were a little bit too much for them, and the clean sheet and the 2-0 home defeat. Is this a better matchup? Some more recent League One players. A home game. Is it Blackpool's easiest game so far in those three? Or is Bristol City away easier at the moment? Maybe there's an argument for that. I don't know. I'm struggling with this one. Struggling a buggling. Our friends over at Betfair have... oh, God, that's tight, isn't it? That's Coventry favourites at 6-4. And Blackpool, it's not a lot in it there, is there? 19-10. They're not sure either. I'm not sure. Let's ask you lot and see whether you can figure it out for us. Here we go. We start with James there. Away, 2-2. Draw. Cov. Blackpool, Cov, draw, Cov, draw, Cov, draw, Cov. Okay, interesting. Draw, Cov, Blackpool. There's a couple. Draw, Cov, Blackpool, draw. I might play my joker on this one, so don't take this prediction seriously. Basically, so. It would be nice, being Peterborough have got themselves a win. Hull have got themselves a win. It'd be nice for Blackpool to get themselves a win. Sorry, Coventry fans. I'm playing the joker on this one, which means you can't argue with my prediction. Let's go home, and we'll play the joker and see if Blackpool can get their opening home win. Well, they might not from what we've said, but there we go. The joker is out. Right, last one of the day. Is this a must-win game, guys? Huddersfield versus Preston. Predictions, please. Huddersfield, draw, or Preston? Huddersfield, draw, or Preston? Huddersfield have, they took a draw against Derby. I'll tell you in 10 games whether a draw against Derby is a good result. Derby may collapse, mightn't they? And it'll turn out to be a bad result if everyone starts beating Derby, if the chaos off the pitch, although they might not, and we'll look at it and say that's an okay result. What is never an okay result is losing 5-1 at home, which is what Huddersfield did against Fulham. So I think we can probably call that a bad start for Huddersfield. But Preston, even worse, because they've lost both of their games. Lost at home to Hull, got battered, didn't they, 4-1, and then lost at Reading at the weekend. It's a tricky one to call again, isn't it? You'd almost argue that for all the problems their pattern of play creates, is it further on at Huddersfield than it is at Preston, given McAvoy only had 8 games last season and seems like a declining team? Certainly a declining team from that 7th under Alex Neil in 17-18, was it? 4 years ago now, isn't it? So I don't know. Is this a case that Huddersfield are open and Preston just still got a bit of quality in there? Johnson, Barkhuizen, Brown, those players who were finishing 7th in the league a few seasons ago. Can they exploit that, or is this a chance for Huddersfield now to exploit maybe a struggling Preston team? Huddersfield are favourites at 7-5. Preston outsiders at 2-1. I haven't got a clue what to say, so let's go to the chat and see what you guys think. Chris says Preston, Huddersfield, draw. Preston, Huddersfield, draw. Preston, draw. A stinky 0-0. Huddersfield, draw. Preston, home. Preston, Huddersfield. Izzy Brown, Derby. Nice, you can still find him. Can't see Alphonso's Huddersfield fan, isn't he, getting anything from this? Okay. I think I'm allowed to go with you lot then. And we'll go for the not very exciting, not very helpful draw. And there you have it. We have our 12 predictions. Let's go to Q&A now. If anyone wants to get any questions in, we can do a bit of Q&A for the rest of the stream. I will answer as many as possible. Please don't get upset if I don't answer yours. I will try my absolute best. Get your questions in and we'll do some Q&A. Okay, just about to go into the Q&A now. Our predictions so far have gone. Fulham to win at Millwall. Middlesbrough and QPR to draw. Cardiff to win at Peterborough. West Brom to win at home against Sheffield United. Birmingham and Bournemouth to draw. Forest to win at home to Blackburn. Swansea to lose at home to Stoke. Barnsley and Luton to draw. Hull win at home against Derby. Reading win at home against Bristol City. Blackpool win at home against Coventry. Huddersfield and Preston to draw. That's what we've come up with. Someone go and put a quid on that as an accumulator for everything. One day we'll get more than 2 right, but what are you going to do, hey? What are you going to do? Very, very quickly, if you're still here, please hit the like button on the stream and please subscribe. Right, any questions here? Watch along today, says James. James, I don't know yet. We're very much with Enid being... How old is she now? Like 6 days old. We're just taking it day by day. So it may be that I can't do it. If the afternoon goes well, just keep an eye on the Twitter and we'll announce things later on, but possibly. But to that point, we will try and prioritize the super stream. Let's be fair, it will be watch-alongs that are sacrificed rather than the regular shows. Ryan, why do you think Blackburn are going to lose? Spool back and there will be an explanation, my friend. Is Stretton enough for Derby, Blue Sky? Probably not, but I like him very much. Looks like a real penalty box striker. Looks like he needs to play in a front tour with two strikers close to him. Have you been surprised by how quickly West Brom have taken to Val's style? No, James, because they've got quality players. So we probably wouldn't notice even if they weren't taking very well to Big Val's style because... You know, they've got players to bail themselves out of it, haven't they? So, no, not surprised at all. How do I feel about Norwich losing this weekend? Bit of deja vu for Norwich, wasn't it? They need to not have too many games like that where a big team just comes and walks over them for a 3-0. They've got a horrible start. They need a 3-pointer nice and soon into the season. First manager to be sacked. Well, I've said a few times Rooney won't get sacked because he's on too much money. They can't do that. Pearson at Bristol City looks on the edge, but he would resign and not be sacked. I think the one where they would sack would be Preston, possibly. I know they're bottom. Or if Sheffield United go 10 without a win, you could get a crazy mental fire in there. JC asked the same thing. Thoughts on Barnsley under shot so far? Well, you take the 4 points, Daniel, won't you? We got told it would be halfway between Struber and Ishmael. I think it's going to take him a little bit of time, let's just say. So, look, high expectations and a tricky job there. But they've got a good squad, well-run club. Should be good. Many Huddersfield fans know how Richard Keogh performed last year. Answer in the chat if you are. Do you think Bristol City will click and be comfortable in the middle or push on? Comfortable in the middle or push on. It's the same thing, isn't it? Will they click or keep losing? I don't think they'll keep losing at the same rate as they have been for 45 games now, where they've been less than a point per game. I don't see them all of a sudden clicking like Norwich did in 18-19 and scoring 90 points. But I think, yeah, maybe not quite the middle. Depends where you class the middle as beginning and ending. But if you class the middle as sort of 14th upwards, yeah, that should be enough. And maybe a little bit of time will be taken there. Who do you think the surprise package team is after the first couple of games? Blackburn, didn't expect Blackburn, Ben, with your Blackburn shirt on there to be up in 6th after 2 games. You've got to mitigate no Elliott, no Armstrong. It's very difficult to tell with league positions. Also, surely Forest won't finish 23rd, will they? So perhaps they're the surprises so far. Dark horse, Tyler, we'd gone heavy on QPR before the season, so much so that they're a light horse now, aren't they? Pass. Dark horse. How high can Luton finish? As soon as Luton go above 10th, they get into dark horse territory. Who do you think has had the best transfer window so far? QPR possibly, getting all the loan players, then getting Dazelle as well, McCallum on loan, so possibly QPR. Liam, what else are we saying? 15 euros on the Acca. Get it done, Peanut. Share it out between all of us. How am I? There we go. Nice, polite. Things are Huddersfield. I'm lovely, thank you. A little bit sleep deprived, but there we go. Thoughts on Ipswich? Look, if they lose to Cheltenham tonight, I'm going to start getting very annoyed, but there you go. Do you see Ben Davies making a big impact on Sheffield United's defence? A big impact? No, I don't see him making a big impact. I think he's a good player who can slide in there in the absence of Jack O'Connell. Who else is in there? Basham and Egan. So they've got good defenders, haven't they? Sheffield United. So, yeah, I think he's a good signing, but a big impact? No, I wouldn't say. They've got good players there in those positions. Richard, do you know what the relaxation of rules due to COVID has been made? Do you think Man City... Well, we know Man City will definitely be working with them because they've got the smartest accountants and lawyers in the entire world working on it, haven't they? I think the relaxation is a different number and a longer reporting period. We'll get Kieran Maguire on at some point. It's been a while. So, do you think Rooney has it to keep Darby up? I honestly don't think it's in Wayne Rooney's hands. I think if there's much more chaos there, I think you could stick Bobby Robson and Alex Ferguson and Brian Clough in there, and they wouldn't keep Darby up. So, if I think he can do it if they get a takeover, preferably before December. But it might not be in his hands. Bless him. Any tips for a 6-fold Acca? There were some nice prices for away teams. QPR at 2-1 as well, Damien. If you want a nice high price. Any other questions in here? Ben, how many managers do you think will be sacked in the Championship? Well, look, forget sacked, but will not be in their job at the start of next season. It averages out at 10 or more. So let's go for 10, Ben, which is a scary thought, isn't it? That nearly, well, and if you think that 3 teams go out and 3 teams come in at either end, you've only got 18 that are clubs that will still be here next season in the same division. Half of them possibly, call it 9 for 18, could possibly be changing managers. Danny, do you think Millwall are stronger this season? Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I think Ballard, that's good. I think McNamara will step up a little bit. Malone signed full-time. Mitchell should improve. Saville returning. Evans another season. Yeah, I do think Millwall are stronger this season. But remember, it's not just players, it's pattern of play. Need to create some chances. You can sign yourself as many strikers as you like. Bodvarsson, Smith, Afobe, Bradshaw. I'm sure there's others I'm forgetting. If you don't create many chances, you won't score any goals. That's the thing with... It's all very well having Jed Wallace smashing one in from 20 yards, but strikers won't score if you don't create them chances. Any more questions here? Are you planning going back to games and doing vlogs like pre-COVID? It's hard. Yeah, we will be back at some point, Eli. Let's be fair. It's probably not going to be... It's definitely not going to be in August. We may get to some close games, maybe some Tuesday night games in September time. And then hopefully, as we go through the autumn, I'll start getting back to games. But obviously, I cannot leave a new mother on her own with young child for... Look, you know how it is. If we do a Swansea game or whatever from Bedford, I'm 4 hours each way, 3 hours at the game. I'm out for 11 hours. I just can't do that at the moment. Blue Sky, Darby signed Jagielka and Bulldog. Good signings or no? Yeah, they are by definition good signings because Darby are under embargo. You get the best players you can in the situation you're in. And the best players Derby can get are Jagielka and Bulldog. They've got some experience. Hopefully they can do some good details. So they kind of have to be, by definition, good signings because the other option is too terrible to consider. Do you think Reading will get top half or potentially push for playoffs? I don't think they'll push for playoffs this season, Alistair. I think they're weaker than last season, just on personnel and with the soft embargo as well. They could get top half. They need to keep Zhao on the pitch, get Maite fit, keep Swift on the pitch, all of that good stuff. You need those star players on the pitch for sure. So it might be a bit tricky at Reading. Do you think any big players will come into any championship club now? Yeah, I think we'll get a couple more. Look, if Sheffield United sell Sander Berger or Aaron Ramsdale or West Brom sell Sam Johnston, maybe I don't know whether Blackburn. Blackburn might go in for a big loanee like Harvey Elliott was last season. So, although that does seem like the money disappears out of the system, doesn't it? So, but we will see some big players. I know it's boring when we're talking about the parachute teams, but we all know they've got way more money than everybody else coming in, don't we? So, there we go. Will Bowyer be sacked? No, not stupid owners. Possibly, but he's doing a fine job at the moment. How's the sleep going? Not too bad. Do I look okay? We might have a bit of a nap later. Josh, thoughts on Hull's chances this season? Also, Huddleston coming back. Huddleston will probably be more of an influence around the place than on the pitch. I remember seeing him in latter days at Derby, and he would drop deeper and deeper and deeper and did mess with the team shape a little bit sometimes. I think Hull can stay up. The contention I had was the age of the defenders and the experience there. But hey, how do you get experience other than playing? So like Greaves, like Lewis Potter, like Wilkes, can you go ahead and win those 10 to 15 games and get 45 plus points? Possibly. So, JC Football, what do you think is a good... What striker do you think is a good fit for Blues? Jack Stretton for Derby. We were just talking about him. So you want someone like Hogan used to be at Brentford who's going to run in behind off Jutkiewicz. Although maybe the striker Birmingham needs to sign is to replace Jutkiewicz, who cannot go forever. I think Birmingham need a pacey striker who can run in behind and finish. But hey, doesn't every team need one of those? How does it feel to be back at Pomeroy? I haven't been back yet. I'm paying for the season ticket, but I have not been back yet. And again, it's going to be a couple of months. What else are we saying? Can QPR push for the playoffs? Yes, I think they can. Sports Info, and I think the world is coming round to that. Do you think Barnsley will push for playoffs? Tricky at the moment, Tyler. I've got people like Middlesbrough, Cardiff, QPR in that group. Barnsley, look, it's a big job to replicate a superb season last season. We've got to find out, was last season lightning in a bottle or just growth? And they'll be around it again and come again. It's a difficult one, isn't it? What else are we saying? Rumours of Ahmed Diallo to Sheffield United. Will, honestly, I must apologise. Unless that's... Oh, is that one of those weird ones that makes me say something rude? I don't know. So I won't take that one seriously. Or is it? Someone else has asked it. There we go. Look, if that player exists and it doesn't make me say a rude word, then I don't know the player. I have to look up to it. Where do you think Rovers are finishing this season? 10th to 16th, possibly. Wing L. What are chances of Cherries, do you think? I do like Scott Parker playing 3-4 of the youngsters. The best players getting back. Yeah, I like that very much as well. And that kind of could be a blessing in disguise if they get up to speed just by virtue of the fact that there's holes created by better players being injured. Look, I think they should be in the top 6, Bournemouth. And we've seen the power of money in COVID times. Whilst everybody has the commercial money and the gate receipts removed, those parachute clubs really did dominate last season. I think that will lag for at least another 3 to 6 months. There we go. Okay, Diallo does exist. There we go. I have to be careful. So many people make funny names that make me sound stupid and then clip it. So there we go. Do you think Ipswich will turn it around this season? Turn it around as in what? Top 10, top 8 playoffs? They should do, shouldn't they? They really should do. But there we go. Will I watch Italian football on BT Sport? Liam, I do not have the time to do anything more than I'm doing at the moment. Do you know, yesterday I was I had to write 3 articles as well as doing all the dad stuff and changing nappies and whatnot. So it was a tiring day. So I'm going to go hang with Shaylee in a bit and have a rest. Speaking of that, we should do that right now. Thank you, Eric. Congratulations on the arrival of Enid. You can all meet her on a video. We'll get Shaylee to bring her up soon. I'll quickly do that. Thoughts on Tom Carroll signing. Tom Carroll, when I've seen him play for QPR and Swansea, I've liked. He's my type of player because he kind of swaggers around in central midfield and pings the ball about. Does he like a tackle? Probably not. Has he got a bad injury record? Probably. What could possibly go wrong at Ipswich? There we go. Right, on that note, thank you, everybody, for joining us for our preview and predictions. We may be back for a watch-along tonight. Don't know. See how the rest of the day goes. We'll definitely be back over the next couple of days. For sure, with some more content. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe before you go. And it's a lovely big over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.